Good morning, America, and good morning, whomever, wherever you are on this big world. Once again, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to entertain you and educate you on the cosmic code jurisdictions. Today, we are under another SOS to the world deadly window. We are under a beginning or ending of important phases of life. And as I've asked you a few days ago, make sure to analyze yourself, to ask or to listen to your friends. Did something new happen to you? Did you start a new job? Did you move? Did you do something that marks the beginning or the end of important phases of your own life? It's important to be aware of those winds so you can relate to my cosmic teaching. As far as I'm concerned, there you go. I got my CDL license two years ago or so. So today I had to use my day off to actually change my medical examination. It lasts only 2 years. So the doctor looked at me and he says, before I came in, she looked at my age, 70 years old. And then after, getting comfortable with me, she tells me, you know what, I was wondering when I saw your age, what type of person I was going to see here. And I was not exactly sure if I'm going to sign you up for another 2 years, driving such a big equipment on the road. So in other words, you know what, people assume. In her mind, I was a half a dead guy. When she saw me, she goes, "What was your name?" "Oh, Mr. Cherry." I said, "Oh, what is your date of birth?" "Well, February 26, 1950. She says, "You know what? You look pretty good for your age." She didn't know. She was kind of it was interesting, put it this way. So she worked with me and I passed with all flying colors, of course. Dr. Cherry is as healthy as can be and as strong as a rock. Now, in reference to the newsletter today, Ekaterina Alexandrovskaya dies at 20 years old. Oh my God. If you can read this type of news and stay cold, something is wrong with you. Nobody dies at 20 years old. Nobody. Unless, of course, she was born in January, unless she's a Capricorn, unless she received the tail of the dragon in the subconscious. Exactly like what happened with Mrs. Naya Rivera. And that brought a lot of fight with some of the people that are emotionally connected with the famous young actress who could not, digest the truth. But it's understandable. They cannot digest the fact because they do not know or have anything else than their 5 logical, limited human senses to delegate with life. I mean, I'm 70 years old. I spent years investigating, checking, double checking, triple checking my cosmic wisdom when somebody dies, looking at the natal dragon and how the superconscious is activating in that person. If there is any negative energy in the 12th house, in the 6th house of health, in the 8th house of death. See, I have a cosmic wisdom that took me years to develop. And that's why I'm precise in my predictions. And again, the reason why she commits suicide is because the stress of such a demanding life. She was a public person. 20 years old. What do you know about life? Nothing. She was submerged, bombarded by all the responsibility, the public appearances, the traveling. That puts a lot of stress to a sign that is very feminine, that is very introvert, that is very personal and very private. You know, when she started doing sports, you know, she was happy. She was doing all the right thing for herself, and she reached the top level. But when the fame element came in, she couldn't take it. So what does she do? Like any other kids or like any other responsible parents, watching the child getting depressed and insecure and crying, God knows what. Let's go and see a psychologist or psychiatrist, because the situation probably was much worse. And as you know, those educated people can only do one thing, is to give you chemicals, an antidepressant, Ritalin, and Prozac, and all the good stuff that didn't exist when I was a kid. It's probably what saved my life, because I was ADD. And then during those days, to fix that, they use electrical current in your head. When my mom says, no, I'm going to let him run around the walls until he burns it all out. So she was smarter than the doctors who wanted to electrocute my head in the 60s or the 50s when I was a kid. So what happened to her? She went into a regimen of antidepressant, and that opened the door to the Reptilius, which hijack her body, her mind, and her soul. The next thing you know, it was a 20-year-old kid that just commits suicide. And another one, Elvis Presley, grandson, a kid. These are children. Not in Naya. The list goes on and on and on, and it will never stop until there is a way for these people to find regeneration. Why do you think you're listening to me today, my good friend? Because you regenerate with metaphysical, spiritual information that gives you the grounding you need to face the hell we're going through with coronavirus. This means, a lot of lives have been destroyed. A lot of career have been neutralized. A lot of business went down the drain. That is hard. And then you got the kids at home. And of course, your government don't care. All they want is money and power. So let's send the kids to school. Let's infect more teachers, and let's kill your children. No, my friend, no. These are very extraordinarily difficult, unprecedented times that we are living. And I know and I can feel where you're at. I'm a lucky sucker because I have good hand and I have good head. All right. I will survive because I knew all that stuff was coming. And even though that I prepare you back in August when I wrote Nostradamus Dragon Forecast for 2020, and when I depict the fate of this country and our president being racist, and then it's not me now who's saying he's racist. It's a member of his family. And do you think Mary would lie? Do you think his niece would lie? It's not me. Don't blame me. I'm just repeating what the stars are sure and what now is on a family member, is on a niece is saying, your president is a racist. You like it or not. And I'm not saying this because I don't like President Trump. I couldn't give a damn if you like him or if you don't. And yet I'm still getting those idiots comment about Trump and bringing politics into my spiritual work. Leave me alone with President Trump. Exit your box, exit your emotion if you're a supporter of President Trump. And instead, click on the link and upgrade your psychical values, your perception of who he is. It is not that I want to hurt or force you to vote for someone else. I don't care. I just want you to upgrade your psychical vibration so you understand the power and the values involving the old science of astrology. As I always said, It's okay to teach children geography, geology, languages, the art. They have 2,000 years of human evolution to digest in a few years in a college or university, in schools. But who is there to teach those children where they came from? Outside of conventional accepted discipline like religion or scientific beliefs. Who is there to teach them their connection with God, with His design, with His immaculate celestial power? That's why the stars are there, not to be used to amuse the scientists to develop technology to live on Mars. You never, ever in a trillion years go on Mars physically. We're already there with technology. Do not endorse, do not support those abusers who don't care. All they want is to build little robots because they have a spiritual pride. They are the children of the children of the children of other scientists who develop nukes. These people were infected by the Reptilius. They don't want to work like you and me. They want to make little robots. They want to send people, they are kind, they are rich people to the space station to give a good look from there to the Earth. But you're never going to go there. Your children are going to go there. Never. It's all about money, my friend, manipulation and deception. It's 2020. I'm still wondering why, adults of my age or younger for that matter, are still believing in this junk of religion that was created by the Reptilius, because religion has and will kill always more people than all disaster and viruses and war combined together, including natural disaster. It creates people like ISIS who would not hesitate to kill you if you don't support their caliphate. That's what religion is all about. So those children have no choice but to sign up for what their parents have been indoctrinated with. Okay? Their first teachers cannot be wrong. Oh, well, we are Scientologists. We are Witness of Jehovah. We are Christian. We are one of the 875 different junk out there. Don't sell your soul to what man has created. And remember, never forget that God never came down, wrote no books, or the Bible, or the Quran, whatever it is. He made the stars. And he speaks his will through the stars. All disappeared civilization use the stars. They built monuments and pyramids that we could not even dismantle today unless we use a nuke. And all those buildings are facing specific constellations for very specific mystical purposes. Do not deny the possibility and the reality of extraterrestrials. Do not deny it. Even if you have never seen a UFO, there's millions of people like me out there who have been touched by this phenomenon. And believe me again, I have better things to do than to make up story at 70 years old about UFOs. It's real as you and me and the computer that you have in front of you. These entities are real. They are already part of your psychical makeup. And you need to understand when I talk about love and hate, positive, negative, up and down, black and white, the front, the back, God, devil, the yin and yang, 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, symmetrical, it's everywhere. Okay, the Reptilius lives in dark matter. Okay, and they operate and are very strong at night. This is why the criminal element is active at night. Negativity, darkness, underworld, darkness, night, dark matter. Now, during the day, there goes the sun, light, life, beauty, positivity, the draconis, or the other side of yourself. You are in constant battle between positive and negative. And those entities, or all cosmic conscious, are using all those cosmic winds to make your life misery. Or if you're blessed by the draconis, and we are every single day, we create a newsletter, we create a video, we create a beautiful music, we create a beautiful painting. and you receive hope, and you receive love, you receive understanding by the people who, like me, are set by God to uplift your spirit into love and light and education. Do not stay in this dark energy, for if you do so, a magnet will attract a piece of wood. You will never, ever attract what you hate. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I had a Corvette, beautiful car. And I was parking my car, by the bar, like I always go, and took the top off. Big mistake. When I came out, lighted cigarette butt was on my leather seat, and some of these infected losers spit on my windshield. Now you tell me, in God's name, how can you attract a Corvette like I did, brand new red Corvette with everything in it? Okay, how can you attract this if you spit in it or if you throw a cigarette in it? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why it's critical for you not to hate what you want the most, not to hate people who have what you don't have, who have experiences the divine when you do not, because you do not vibrate at that higher speed. A magnet will attract a piece of wood. Use logic, because my work, when you look at it, is so simplistic. It's so easy to assimilate if you just follow and understand the regulations. The future is nothing else than a reincarnation of your thought. I have the American dream. I have solidity. I have love. We got money. We are secure in so many ways. Why? Why? Because I worked hard. It's karma. It is due to me. So God, the universe, is rewarding me as much it has rewarded all of you who have worked hard for years to get what you have. Be positive. This is not complicated. Do not work for darkness. Okay? And if you go at night, you know you're going to be more susceptible to a Reptilius infestation. When I look at this young woman, 20 years old, Jesus, I'm 50 years older than this kid when she died. My gosh, this should never happen, because there was nobody to make her understand what she was going through with the tail of the dragon in her subconscious in the sign of Sagittarius. That made her so vulnerable, and all these chemicals, because it's part of a cosmic nature, a cosmic identity, a UCI, a unique celestial identity, to be naturally prone to addictions. And all you educated psychiatrists and psychologists and neuroscientists have no freaking clue of the essence of what it means to be human, because every one of them, 3/4 of them, I don't want to throw the baby with the water, okay? They are reluctant to open up to metaphysics, to astrology, and immediately ridicule my cosmic work. When today, again, I tell you, it's the beginning of or end of important phases of your life, okay? And then I tell you, this is the quatrain clearly mentioned nature and man to strike hard. The next thing you know, we've got again a 6.1, a 6.1, and a 7.0 earthquakes that took place during this window. We also have a volcano that erupted, and that means a lot of people, in many ways, we have to be forced into a relocation or experience a new life. There is also tornado that will destroy or have destroyed homes, forcing people to a new life. So instead of being negative and rejecting everything I said, just, okay, is there anything new that came into my life? Is it the beginning or the end of important phases of life? Is there anything that just start to behave that way and ask questions? And sooner or later, you will have to expand, because you cannot deny the truth. The truth will always be there. Okay, now, Stromboli in Italy, a volcano. A sudden, very strong explosion occurred at the volcano this morning. It came without warning, even though the volcano has been in a rather low state of activity level during the recent weeks. Excuse me, it came without warning. Not true. It came, it was warned, it was written, it was published on July the 6th on the Cosmic Code. But how many scientists are in the Cosmic Code? Well, maybe I'd be surprised. Many of them are trying to find out, how I do it, and maybe they, pretty much like Vedic astrologers are hitting my website nonstop because they're supposed to be astrology should be better than mine, but obviously it is not because they're hitting me all the time, learning from me all the time. I don't care. If they do so, my blessing to these people, because I want them to be precise and help other people. All right. Now, you have to remember there is a big difference between education, a gift, and intelligence, or in my case, being touched by the divine. And then this is why when I signed my first ever prediction of large earthquake, you're talking about earthquake at 7 point something. I signed an email to USGS in Pasadena, in the Institute of Seismology Institute in Pasadena. I mean, you cannot deny it. You can read it. Click on the link. You're going to see what I said. You're going to see the result a few days later, exactly on the date that I gave. And do you think any of these guys will ever answer me? No. No. How could he? How could he be right? He's not a geologist. He hasn't been in school. No, remember they fired me. I was 15 years old after I got my GED because I was ADHD, which is a gift. Einstein was also ADHD. So there's a big difference again between learning from an accredited school for a few months or a few years or living a 70-year-old life loaded with extraordinary experiences, my friends. I'm sure many of you can relate to me. So let's see about this beginning or ending of important phases of life. If we can relate to me by checking the news. Severe thunderstorm rocks northern Michigan and tornado in Wisconsin. Keyword is clear, okay? Nature meant to strike hard. Florida man called his dad and said, help, before he was killed alongside friends. End of life. End of life. Again, this was a kid. What did he do to be killed? What is the reason behind all this? Of course, the FBI will find out, but chances are there is definitely drugs involved. There is gangs involved. There is a Reptilius infestation cursing all these kids, and they're dying like fleas and flies every day. Street vendors are on edge after Paletero was beaten unconscious and another one was killed. Can you believe this? This poor Mexican guy ran around the street in the sun in LA selling ice cream. Next thing you know, he's knocked unconscious and his friend is dead. My God, what world are we living in, my friends? Thanks to your president with those racist lunatics who vibrates like your president now are getting active and support this. They're infected and they have no freaking clue because nobody's there to tell them. That's where we are. That's where we are in 2020. This is sad. This is absolutely terrible. And here I am every single day trying to help you. That's why it's important to help me. Pass it on, my friend. Pass it on. We cannot have this anymore. We have to behave like human beings, decent human beings. 49 people were shot, 7 fatally in Chicago this weekend. Talk about end of life. Again, education is not there. These kids don't have no support from the government. The government should invest on these children, teach them something, give them something to do so that they can exit the gangs. Oh, socialism. Oh, no. Do you know that if my government didn't spend 6 months on me, okay, and take care of me for 6 months, and did not educate me, to become a welder, heavy equipment operator, to have my my engineering education. If my government didn't spend 6 months, I may be now, okay, dead. Because when I arrived in 1984, I could have stayed in LA. But I knew I had a very high paying job. And I worked on the US base in San Diego. And I worked in Pearl Harbor. And I worked in Marshall Island. And I was making $65 an hour. And I came in this country with this $50 in my pocket. Thanks to my government who has invested 6 months in me so I could be alive today and help you so that you can help your children. I'm not talking about communism. Socialism, it freaks everybody out. Of course, because that, like us in France, you talk about a gun or you show us a gun, we're freaking out because we've been indoctrinated. You have been indoctrinated not to do nothing for your kids and see the result. Unless you work 3 jobs, you and your wife, okay? Unless you work 3 jobs, you cannot afford an education for your kids. Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right? And in the process, you got 40 kids that end up killed the last weekend. My God, use a little bit of common sense. You've got to invest on those kids. If not, they're going to sell drugs. Education is the key to success into the future. No racism. Woman 33 dies after being shot 8 times for asking men to stop setting off fireworks. Oh my God. Again, a young woman. What is this guy doing? Shooting a woman 8 times. Look at the hate, the hatred. Look at the Reptilius infestation completely submerging, invading this parrot. It is not a human being anymore. It's an animal. Highway horror. Through thin blue line, member dead. 9 critical after head-on crash. Talk about, end of life. Parasailing accident in Key West. Leave 1 dead, another severely injured. End of life. Okay. A Georgia teen on the first skydive and a veteran instructor died when their chute failed to open. The same thing. What I'm trying to say is there are no accidents, my friend. You believe if it's an accident? No. It's cosmic circumstances. You're not aware of your personal cosmic biorhythm. You're doing things when you feel like. You don't do things when you feel like. You see the red light in the street, the stop sign in the street, you stop. If you don't, you're playing Russian roulette, and chances are you're going to get killed. Because nobody taught you. There is another set of laws written in light right here by God himself through the sign, through his cosmic design. Because you do not know about those laws doesn't mean those laws don't exist and should be ignored. Because now you are going to join the long, infinite line of the people who have experienced a premature death. Now, should I be really punished for helping you? I don't know. But he breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart when I see such a waste of life. Then I go with my movie on Amazon, receiving tremendous support. And I want to thank you again and again for that. God thanks all of you are not stupid idiots, educated idiots, or religious fanatics out there, and keep an open mind. Okay. Now, I want you to go and check my educational rebuttal to some of these people who actually truly believe science is their God. Science is the only answers. No, education is a must. I love science. I'm not against science. I absolutely love what our scientists are able to do with our technology and give a good look at our universe. What I'm pissed off is, why don't you investigate your local solar system, spiritual values, before you try to bring us into the infinity of the universe? No, start in your background. Understand that those stars are more than dead rock, hang in there for the sake of beauty. Every one of these stars has this very specific energy that emanates from the universal mind, which is interacting with your mind. And in that, those energy coming, those interstellar energy are also mixed up with dark matter, where the Reptilius and the Draconis, not the Draconis, but the Reptilius resides. Remember, that's why they are very active at night. Dark matter, dark night, underground, criminal elements at night. So I'm trying to give you all sorts of plausible explanation the best way I can, being French. Okay. And I think I'm doing a good job, because many of you understand me. Many of you are as sharp as I am, or at least curious. And that's a good way to start. But when I see those educated idiots, find every excuse possible in the world to deny the divine, to deny the impossible, to deny UFO, to deny God for that matter, to deny the impossible, that tells you how infected and limited their consciousness truly is. And these are the people who need me the most, and they're the one who was beating the hell out of me. I'm trying to help them, trying to help those people. They are so infected. It is practically impossible for them to get any form of help from me or no one else for that matter. They're just reflecting and regurgitating the pitiful life they're experiencing, their lack of productivity, their lack of love, their lack of understanding and integrity. All they're going to do is to get a big, huge knife and stick it right into the beautiful painting, trying to destroy the beautiful painting. Or they see a beautiful, loving heart. All they want to do is to stab it until he dies, because they have signed their soul at the subconscious level. They're oblivious to what I'm saying. They've signed their soul to those nasty, negative entities, and they won't even try to fight for love, light, happiness, and intelligence for that matter. They're just doomed. They're going to be ending in darkness forever. They're not going to go to hell, because this is hell. This is the training ground where we learn by suffering emotionally and physically. They're going to be part of the dark force. They're going to be part of dark matter. They're going to be the channel that fuel those reptilians to curse everything that means life, and every forms of life in time and space. This is why I'm asking you to join the Draconis, to join love, to join life, to see and to say to yourself, what did I do today to help someone? What did I do to make a friend happy? What did I do for society? Look what I do at 70 years old. When these people at DOT, before they saw me, assume I was dying and they were not going to give me the permission to drive again. And then she said, Mr. Cherry, what is your secret? The secret, I said, is being happy, being positive. That's the secret. The secret. Of course, there is a little bit more to it. And if you join me in my future conferences, I will teach you hands-on how to stay young, beautiful, and smart, and attract the divine and attract the good extraterrestrials. So, my friend, again, please take the time to read my newsletter. Okay, click on the link, see the pictures of Draco, my beautiful dog. He passes now. And of course, there's a reason for pets to live with us. So click on the link and read why, if you have a cat or a dog, why those beautiful animals live with us. Until then, my good friend, I'll be going to work probably late tonight or tomorrow morning. So I will surely be in time and space coming back to you. All right, so go to my movie. Give me some feedback. And God bless all of you, and be safe out there, because I will be. I have to be, so I can keep helping you and regenerating your spirits. God bless all of you. Bye-bye.